Today, did you want that custom Kingdom Hearts PS4 Pro? Shame about that. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint, where today is January 28th.
That's right, and as we all know, according to government regulations, today is the last day you can complain about having to write 2019 on things.
But don't worry, complaining about Valentine's Day being shoved down your throat and how few days there are in February is right around the corner.
Fortnite will no longer have blind draw loot boxes. Fortnite saved the world, that is, not the Battle Royale version that actually makes money. But anyhow, once patch 7.3 goes live, upgrade llamas, the 50 V-Buck loot boxes, will become X-ray llamas, 50 V-Buck loot boxes that will show you what you're getting before you buy it. And if you don't want what's inside, you can just wait for a daily store refresh. What a generous and lovely change that Epic is making. And I'm sure it's out of the pure goodness of their lovely hearts and not because their legal department are getting extremely nervous about all the customer complaints piling up about the other Fortnite.
You may have heard about this game when it was first reported, but PubG Lite is now finally available for download and beta testing. If you don't know what PubG Lite is, that's fine, because it's only available in Thailand and it's exactly the same as PUBG but free and worse. The game has a different development team within Bluehole and is designed to run on low-end PCs for uses like internet cafes. Minimum specs include 4 gigs of RAM, 4 gigs of storage, a 2.4 gig Intel i3, and, as I mentioned before, being in Thailand. It also only features the game's Erangel map, which will see its own quality of life improvements separate from the main game, and while Bluehole may expand its reach beyond Thailand eventually, for now it is Thai-specific. It is, however, free to play. So if you want, you can fire up a VPN, pretend to be in Thailand, download your own copy of Brendan Green's Bangkok Beatdown, and enjoy a version of PUBG made by people who said, "Our game is known for looking ugly and running badly, so let's make it worse."
We all know Facebook is bad and we shouldn't use it, but it turns out Facebook is very, very bad, like cartoonishly evil level of bad. According to internal documents from 2011 that are now only becoming public because they're part of a class action lawsuit, Facebook has been aware for a very long time that it's real easy for kids to spend their parents' money on the site. The issue, which Facebook has dubbed friendly fraud, or FF for short because apparently it comes up enough that they need an acronym, occurs when a parent authorizes a one-time purchase, but Facebook retains credit card information, making it so a child can then continue to make purchases without the parents knowing. In a memo sent to Facebook developers in 2011, Facebook outlined the practice under the heading Friendly Fraud, what it is, why it's challenging, and why you shouldn't try to block it. And if that's not damning enough, behold the text of the following customer service exchange released earlier this month as part of the same lawsuit. Jillian, would you refund this whale ticket? User is disputing all charges. What's the user's total lifetime spend? It's $6,545, but the card was just added on September 2nd. They're disputing all of it, I believe. That user looks underage as well. Well, maybe not under 13. Is the user writing a parent, or is this user a 13-ish year old? It's a 13-ish year old. Says it's 15, looks a bit younger. She, not it's. Lol. I wouldn't refund. Oh, that's cool. That's fine. Agreed. Just double checking. And if you need another nail for that coffin, here's an excerpt from a 2011 email from a member of Facebook's payment and risk team. The difficulty with friendly fraud is that we do not have a clear way to identify it at a purchase level because it looks like a good transaction. And if we were to build risk models to reduce it, we would most likely block good revenue. So to sum up, they knew it was happening. They knew it was fraud, and they didn't want to fix it. Delete Facebook.
This week in unsurprising news, GameStop continues to be terrible and have cancelled an unknown number of pre-orders for the Kingdom Hearts 3 Special Edition PS4 Pro because they oversold their allocation. Anecdotal reports from Twitter show that people who ordered immediately back in December are still among those having their orders cancelled. Even some people who traded in their PS4 toward the new system, meaning now they not only don't have any PS4, but they no longer have a system that had more value in their hands than the money GameStop is refunding them. Oh, but they do get a $25 online credit as an apology. Now, this kind of thing can happen. Sometimes retailers don't know how much of a product they're going to get allocated and they oversell pre-orders. Except, this is a GameStop exclusive. Nobody else got them, and they went up for order a little over a month ago. There's no way they didn't know exactly how many they were getting, but they kept pushing pre-orders because that's one of their draconian "don't get fired for not meeting these numbers" metrics, and they didn't tell people they'd be oversold until 4 days before release. Some blame should go to Sony for continuing to give exclusives to GameStop, but most of the blame still goes to GameStop for being a hell company of monster people that will not be missed when they finally slide off the precipice and into the swamp of their own creation. Except the actual, on-the-ground employees. I used to be one of those people, and I feel for them.
Weren't you really good at hitting those metrics?
Not proud of it, but yes, I once sold so many disk protection plans my manager gave me a free Xbox 360 game.
What game?
True story, Eternal Sonata.
No wonder you quit. Coming up, Nintendo announced they're starting over from scratch on Metroid Prime 4, and since all we've seen of the game is this logo, we can only assume they're switching it up for a different font. We understand that's how game development works. I didn't know what you were doing. You were just like doing a pose, so I was like, I'll do a pose too. But mine was more gormless.
I'm gonna level with you. I didn't know what I was doing either.
Oh, well, I'm glad we both didn't know what you were doing.